Hey guys, I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. The Galaxy Tab is finally here. It's available on Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon, and coming to AT&T in the coming weeks, and it's a great competitor to the iPad. It's an Android tablet, 7-inch display, 1 GHz processor, 3 megapixel camera, front-facing camera, a lot of goodies, even if it doesn't make phone calls. Is it a competitor to the iPad? Is it better? Is it worse? We'll find out about that and more in the review. But first, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with 2 of these for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway. You go into Best Buy, you get the Galaxy Tab, you're going to walk out working. Get your email set up, your browsing experience configured, everything configured so when you walk out of the store, when your mom or your grandma walks out of the store with this device, should be the coolest grandma in the world, first of all. But second of all, Best Buy Mobile is going to take care of you with their walkout working program. Enough of that, let's get into the review. Samsung Galaxy Tab starts right now. Okay, here it is, the Samsung Galaxy Tab. Now this is the Verizon version, so you notice some slight design differences, like the back of the Verizon one is kind of a carbon fiber black cover and it's texturized, whereas the Sprint version, for example, is all white and it's glossy. So you notice little differences like that, but otherwise very similar. 1 GHz Hummingbird processor across the carriers, Android 2.2 Froyo with Samsung's TouchWiz user interface, 7-inch display, front-facing camera, rear camera with a flash, 3 megapixels. So for the most part, you know, very similar on that front, just minor design differences, pricing differences. It's available on 3 carriers now, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon, coming to AT&T anytime, sometime soon in the near future. This is a Verizon version, as I said, so we can take a look out of the box at what it looks like. Several different home screens. You can do up to 9. Actually, out of the box, it comes with a few less, but I added maximum, which is 9. And you can do that from the menu here by going to this and going to Edit, and it'll bring those up. So you can set any of these as home, and then you can move them around as much as you like. Remove home screens, add home screens, and you can add up to 9. So nice touch there. Otherwise, like I said, Android 2.2 with TouchWiz. You know, and if you've worked with a Galaxy S device before, you're very familiar with the way this Galaxy, with the way the Tab looks. Very similar to the Galaxy S lineup, almost identical, just save for the lack of the phone application. You'll notice that it looks very similar. On the Verizon version, you have 3G mobile hotspot, all share, backup assistant, Blockbuster, digital frame. Let's see what else we have. Kindle, Let's Golf, out of the box. Media Hub, which is Samsung's, well, for lack of a better phrase, Media Hub, where you can get your music, your movies, and that's expanding as we speak. It was announced a while back, but it's nice to see that in action. My Verizon Mobile, Nova, Slacker, News and Weather, which is Google's News and Weather widget. VCast apps, music, song ID, so typical Verizon applications. VZ Navigator, and then I've installed TweetDeck and Fandango just to show you some stuff later in the video. Otherwise, you know, very similar, like I said, to TouchWiz on Galaxy S. You'll notice that the widgets are very similar. AccuWeather Clock, for example, where you can select the city and get your weather. You'll notice other similar ones. Analog Clock Calendar. Click on Calendar. No upcoming calendar events on this device, but you get the idea. You know, very similar widgets to the Epic 4G, the Fascinate. So if you have a Fascinate or you have an Epic 4G and you're thinking, I'd like a tablet, but I'd like it to work like my phone, this is the tablet for you. You have the Verizon's data usage widget on this model where you can track your data usage. You know, they have several different plans for the Galaxy Tab. They have 4 plans for the Galaxy Tab to be exact, and you know, depending on which plan you get, you're going to want to track your data usage to make sure you're not going over. So that's there. So that's a nice little touch as well. News and Weather, Slacker Radio, TweetDeck, which is what I installed again, and YouTube. So similar apps on that front. News and Weather, one of my personal favorites. Let's click on Weather, and we'll bring that up and bring it up there to the top. Now, you know, this is an interesting thing. Usually I don't talk about modifications or any sort of, you know, tweaks out of the Android market or anything of that nature, but comes with a little standardized dock here at the bottom with 3 icons. Now you can remove those icons if you want to. Remove browser. Let's say I want to put in Gmail, and we'll push that down there. So you can see you can make those whatever you'd like to make them, but the middle one is always applications. If that doesn't tickle your fancy, you can download a program called Launcher Pro from the Android market. And there's a couple of other ones. There's ADW as well. But Launcher Pro, and it'll customize the dock, and also it'll center some of these icons as well. Notice, you know, the widgets, if you'll notice, they're not centered. You either have to center it to the left or the right versus being directly in the middle of the screen, and that's a frustration for some. For me, I like my widget to pan the entire screen. With Launcher Pro, for whatever reason, you can do that, but you can't in the stock or the TouchWiz build that comes out of the box. So the first question that everybody asked when I picked up the Sprint Galaxy Tab, what's the keyboard like? That's the first question everybody asked. What's the keyboard like? How's it like typing on a 7-inch display? That's a little bit different from the larger display on the iPad. I've been very pleased with it. You know, when I had the hundreds of conversations going from when I gave the number out on the YouTube video for on the Sprint Galaxy Tab unboxing. Yes, I did just indirectly say I'm popular. You know, awesome. What can I say? But anyway, when I had the several conversations going, it was easy to click into one. You know, for example, this one that I was playing with earlier. This is one of my demo numbers. And you'll see you have two different keyboard options. You have swipe, and then you have the Samsung keyboard. So if you have the Vibrant, or you've worked with the Vibrant or the Captivate, you're familiar with the Samsung keyboard. But you can see swipe. Not how H you doing. Very easy to use. And if you want to migrate over to the Samsung keypad, you can do that. Now, this is no fun. We need to type something more exciting. Let's see here. We'll do phone dog, scared away the green phone cat. Quick round phone dog scared away the green phone cat. And you can do that in portrait mode, or you can do it in landscape mode. Now, an interesting thing about landscape mode, when you jump into that, you'll see that the messaging application changes slightly. So a little bit of a difference there versus, you know, but due to the larger screen versus one of the Galaxy S phones, you have the option over here to view the messages. And again, it was very easy when I had those hundreds of conversations going. I could go over to one, just click it, bring up the conversation, type back, and that's exactly how I type. But I type back, hit send, you know, and then go back to the next one. So a nice touch. And you'll notice through the Galaxy Tab, even though it is running TouchWiz, and it's pretty similar to the Galaxy S line, there are minor differences to accommodate for the larger screen, like that little design difference there. Another design difference is in the Contacts menu, or Contacts app rather, and you'll see here. Here's what it looks like. A little bit different, kind of a tabbed thing going on up here, and you can see you can do that in portrait or in landscape mode. And that's what it looks like. So a little bit different. Your contacts are listed in alphabetical order. Obviously, you can edit and delete by clicking the buttons down here. You can view your group. So you can see, you know, very clean, very easy to use, no problems whatsoever there. And you can check the history if you've text messaged this person, or if you've emailed them, something of that nature. You can check it out in the history, and you can view it by message, email, Facebook, MySpace, or Twitter. So it provides one spot for you to check all of those different things. Now I want to highlight two widgets, and I know I'm going back and forth, but I want to highlight two widgets that Samsung has on this device and on the Galaxy S devices as well. And they've done a very good job with. Let's have a look at the Daily Briefing widget. And you can see Daily Briefing is exactly what it sounds like. It's a program where you can view your weather, your finance, and your news all in one spot. So you just pan over at the beginning of the morning, check the weather, check the finance, and check your weather, or excuse me, check the news as well. So let's see. Bring that up. And let's see what the weather's like. We'll refresh it. It'll bring up Charlotte weather. It's actually raining right now, so let's see how accurate that is. Yahoo Finance, you can add stocks and or add organizations rather, and check that stuff. And you can add your schedule as well. So if you have a certain event you have to go to or to do that day, you can add that. It's a nice touch because you can see it all in one place. I'm all about these applications that aggregate data like that, and that one definitely makes it easy. Now another one, let's have a look here that I wanted to show you. I'm having trouble finding it. Oh, AccuWeather clock. That's what I was pinpointing earlier, was the AccuWeather clock, where you can select the city. Let's go back to Charlotte here again. Find it. And Charlotte, North Carolina. Brings up the clock, so it's just a different weather widget. If it's you know, kind of like Sense's widget that's on the top, or the Moto Blur widget. Yes, let's apply daylight savings time. So you can see, you know, it's raining, high 76, low 48, and it shows the date and the time. So neat little widgets. You know, it's a love-hate thing. If you prefer the TouchWiz widgets, you'll like this. If you prefer something like the widgets that are found on Moto Blur or HTC Sense, probably not the widget type for you, but still nice that those are installed on the device. So, you know, going back on the topic of the programs that are slightly different due to the screen size, let's have a look at the calendar, and you can see, like the contacts, you know, tabbed organizational flow here, and it opens up a default to month, but you can see it's a little bit different thanks to the bigger screen. Let's go to day. You can see very simple, easy to use day, week, month, and then list if you prefer agenda mode where you can see your events. Let's add an appointment just to get an idea of what it looks like. When you go into that, very similar to what you've seen on other TouchWiz enabled devices or even other Android devices. Eat turkey. Eat turkey. Eat turkey from, let's make that the 25th. We're going to make that all day. And then we'll make that, it's a one-time event, put it in the calendar, and alarm beforehand will hit done. And then when I go to my list, Eat Turkey is on there. So it's available all day. So, it's easy to see. It optimizes the 7-inch screen, and you can view it in several different modes depending on what you prefer. Here's the week mode, for example. And I like that because you have the larger screen, it opens up kind of like a planner when you go to week mode versus the way it looks on a standard PDA.